Right, I'm going to make a stir fry tonight with some bits and pieces out of the garden. I'll go and grab them. Right, a little bit of parsley. That'll do, let's go for wonder. 2 carrots.
Yep.
Let's have a look what these are like. Just add these 2. Don't need to be big because they're going into a stir fry. There's 3 of them. I'll just leave them out so we can wash those. Absolutely delicious snow peas. They're going to be yum. There's always more than you think. You look and you don't see them, and then they're everywhere.
Alright.
I've got a few up here. I don't need about half a dozen. What else? Got one there. Oh, there's a couple there. Maybe just that one. Got a lot of secondary growth on these broccoli, so we're going to utilise them. You can even eat the flowers if you want to. You choose not to. Like I say, this is all secondary growth of the big heads we cut up originally, which is more than enough for a second pick. Right, I'm just going to take a big chunk of Chinese cabbage. That is going to be yum. That's all the goodies out of the garden, well, most of them, and also some carrots, capsicum, garlic, ginger, and I've already made my stir-fried rice with egg and bacon. So now I need to make up some sauces and I need to prep the meat. All right, now I'm going to prep the meat. Going to marinate it for a little while. I'm going to use a little bit of corn flour, probably about 2 or 3 teaspoons. Put about 1.5 to 2 teaspoons in that bowl. That's going to be for the sauce near the end. I'm also going to put in some soy sauce, probably about a teaspoon and a bit. Bit of oyster sauce. Again, there's no real measurements, but probably about a teaspoon and a bit, maybe 2 teaspoons. I like oyster sauce. Bit of hoisin. I haven't got any Chinese wine, so we're just going to have to live with that. Probably about a teaspoon of that. Now this is sesame oil, so I'm not going to put too much in, do just a bit. Also I'm going to crack an egg. Right, now it's the keep your fingers in. Get it coated. This is sort of marinating. Quite sloppy, so I might put just a little bit more corn flour, just a bit. This is fillet steak, so it's going to be tender anyway. It's just adding the flavours to it. When I fry it, right, I'm happy to let that sit for about half an hour. We'll move on to the next stage. Now for the sauce that's going to be put in near the end, and then add a bit of corn flour to thicken it up. Probably about, I don't know, 2 teaspoons of soy, hoisin, the rest of the bottle. It's about nearly a tablespoon, I think. Don't quote me on it. Bit of oyster. And some sesame seed oil. I'm also going to put just a little bit of water, just a tiny bit. Right, just going to mix all that up. Flavour. You can see it's going to be a nice sauce going on top of when the veggies are cooked. The meat's cooked first, then the veggies. Then you add the meat back in, then you add the sauce. Now if it needs thickening up, like I say, got a little bit of corn flour and water there. So we're nearly up to the stage of cooking the meat. Stand by. Right, the pan's heating up. I'm going to put in a decent amount of oil, probably about 2 tablespoons. I'll add more if I need to. And then we're going to add this meat. So they're quite thin slices because they've got all the flour, the corn flour, the egg. You just separate them a bit because they'll all stick together. Won't take too long to cook actually. You don't have to use fillet steak. You could use buff, you could use sirloin, you could use stewing steak. You cut it thin enough and marinate it, tenderise it. Oh, let's give that about 3 or 4 minutes and we'll be nearly done. In about 3 or 4 minutes, what you want to get is that sort of colour. Spread it out and try to leave it. Try and get that nice crusty bit, all the crusty bits on the bottom of the pan. It will come off into the rest of the meal. Oh, give it another 2 or 3 minutes. Right, that's good for me. 99% cooked, got a nice bit of colour, which will be enhanced after we finish the rest of the process. Yeah, there's a bit stuck on the bottom, but that will come off as you will see. Rest of the meat out. Yum. Put some more oil. Another 1.5 tablespoons, 2 tablespoons. Now we're going to cook. There's some capsicum, and there is onion, and there is the carrots out of the garden, some ginger, and some garlic paste. So they can all go in. That's great straight away. Right. All that good stuff on the bottom, we're going to waste. Just going to saute these till they get translucent, soft. Just add just a tiny bit of water. Don't need that much. Gives a little bit of moisture to work with. And it helps deglaze the pan as well. People say there's burnt bits on the bottom of the pan. I say no, it's just flavour waiting to be added. It won't take too long. Give them about another minute or two and we'll come back. Right, they're getting sort of soft, but I don't want them to go too soft. I'm going to add the meat back in. Yum. I'm going to add that sauce I made up. Just a bit of water to get the good bits out the bottom. And now, we should give this another few minutes, not too much. Turn up the heat just a little bit so I'm quite high, but just to finish it off. All those flavours, yum. This is just me, I'm just adding a little bit of liquid to get the viscosity I want. I may not need to add too much of the corn flour. Getting pretty close at this stage. Probably half a handful of cashews. Maybe a few more because they want to be in there. Smells amazing. Just going to put a wee bit of that mixture of corn flour and water, just a bit, just to finish it off. You see it starts to thicken everything into yumminess. Many ways to do this. This is just one way. And some fresh produce out of the garden. Right, I think we're going to be pretty close to adding the very last bit, which is all the broccoli and the Chinese cabbage and the snow peas. They will not need very much. Let me stir all these in, and then I'll show you the final. This is well and truly done. Just going to turn off the heat. Final stir. Broccoli and the snow peas, still a little bit of bite in them, just a bit. We'll dish them up with some rice.